We are at the Smart Betting Club Bash at the Empire Casino in Leicester Square. Andrew Lowrie, professional gambler and betting advisor. We haven't seen you since Ostend, Andrew.
Can you believe it's almost a year ago now? It's incredible.
How was the journey home that day?
Well, it was horrendous. We'd rather not talk about the journey home, but the time out there was great fun, wasn't it?
Anyway,
really
looking forward. So, meeting a lot of like-minded people here. I don't know many. Do you know many? Are we going to schmooze around and see who's what?
Yeah, well, I recognise a few faces already. The Lovell brothers that come in, the bookmakers, and obviously yourselves and Pete from Smart Betting Club. So I'm sure there'll be plenty more. I know when everyone arrives. So I really look forward to it.
Good. Well, there's one more thing before we go. It's on everybody's lips. The Pro Bet podcast. What's happened to that?
You'd have to speak to Mr. Holder. I think I'm more willing than he is at this stage for it to come back.
Okay, Anthony Kaminskas, bookmaker and professional gambler. This is ideal for you, really, isn't it? But aren't you worried that all these people are looking at you and thinking dinner?
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to foster a few relationships with the guys that are going to take money off me. But it's really good to hear you're dealing with some of the smartest guys in the industry, and it's obviously a learning opportunity for me, trying to pick the brains about their own individual niches in gambling as well, explain what we're doing. And yeah, our MO is probably different to a few different bookmakers, trying to work with smart guys as well and trying to find a mutually beneficial relationship as well.
Is it a case of keeping your enemies close?
That's exactly it. Keep your enemies close, yeah, for sure. There's a few enemies in this room from looking around, but there's a lot of people that I know but haven't actually met in person that I've dealt with over the phone. So it's real good to catch up with people in person and basically build relationships, which is probably what this event is for as well.
Thank you, Andy. So one of the first betting people interviewees. So you're not adverse to coming and networking still. Or you guys like to stay solitary and hidden away?
I got the Twitch actually and thought, should I actually be doing this or not? And maybe I'm getting a bit chilled in my old age. I was quite looking forward to coming here tonight and meeting some people I've not met before. Kaminskas to your left here, but I've never met and spoke to probably a million times. So coming to something like this tonight and ticking off a few boxes that people I've never actually met, and just talking crap about betting all night and whinging about the way it's all going. Why not?
Should he be worried there's going to be a few super syndicates formed by the end of tonight?
He should be, shouldn't he?
Who's here? Jerry Croxford.
I had to come and listen to what people were saying.
A bit posh for you around here, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. As it happens, I've come up here quite a bit. There's a lot of people that I know here. It's amazing how many people like that I say I know him and I've spoken to him before. It's amazing. It really is a small world, really. I suppose gambling is a small world, really, isn't it?
All joking aside, this isn't really posh for you, is it? Because you go away and what's the most expensive hotel room you end up in?
Oh, I don't know. I've had plenty of £1,500 a night, £2,000 a night rooms, so I stayed in Sandy Lane for 2 weeks before, and that's pretty expensive.
Are your boys first class? All back in greyhounds?
I get you all in greyhounds. My modelling career's really fell away lately.
So how many of these bookies that have turned up tonight have paid for your posh holidays?
Oh, I'm sure a lot of them.
You wouldn't put anybody into bed, though, would you?
About 10 in the morning.
Not anymore. I used to years ago. I did used to stick people in years ago, but that's when we had the swords out. But it's been a long time since then, so I'd only have a fun bet with him now.
Right, so I'm here with Russ Wiseman. He's the chairman of Star Sports. Russ, this is full of people you don't want to take bets from.
Well, Simon, I was given the opportunity to come here, and the main reason is I like to see some old familiar faces, but also to see what kind of characters we're up against. And I think it's actually a great event because it gives us a chance to connect and learn from each other. How can we let people play in a fair way? Tell them from an operator's point of view how we're concerned that maybe we don't want their business. But I think there's always a middle ground with this stuff, and I think Ben probably feels the same way, the owner. Let's try and find it. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but at least an event like this gives us a chance to find out.
But a lot of your career, you've been on the other side of the fence, haven't you?
Absolutely.
You're quite a formidable sort of punter.
Well, no, I think I've been involved in a lot of syndicates myself, but I've obviously been in some of the more corporate firms. I was GBC for 12 years, so I understand the problems for punters getting on. It's difficult. There lots of ways to try and circumvent it and navigate the way through. But we're in this very unusual phase, aren't we? The white paper's out. As an operator, we're trying to be very compliant, be safe. But conversely, we don't want to turn business away. We're still a commercial firm, but it's that sweet spot, isn't it? And I think tonight we may learn a lot. I think some people here probably try to bend the rules a little bit too much, but as a bookmaker, we've got to play the game fair as well.
Rules fair in bookmaking, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Honourable game.
Being here tonight is a little bit like when you were a teenager walking around a school disco asking girls to dance and they all kept saying no. It's a bit what it's like with these punters. They're all bashful. So many of them have said they don't want to speak, but we're not going to give up. There's plenty of shrewdies in here. I'm going to try and collar some more. Kane, thanks very much for speaking to us, because there's a lot of bashful people here tonight. They might bash the bookies, but they don't want to speak to us. I understand from Tom Brownlee from Bookie Bashing that you've made plenty of money backing horses. And you've gone on to sort of start your own business on the fun. So can you tell us a bit about where you come from?
So yeah, I guess from the start I started off with match betting. It's just doing the bookie offers, take advantage of the bonuses. Then go to Bookie Bashing. Tom was posting on these match betting sites, so I got involved in that probably from the start of Bookie Bashing. I then started making money off that, and then rather than match betting, you start being more risk averse. Taking more bets as your bankroll builds. And then from there, I guess, you're more into a oyster. The more risk you take, I guess the more money you make, but also the more money you can lose. It worked out well for me because I guess I'm a risk-averse person, but I also want to make money. So, I want to put those bets down. The more you put down, the better it is. And I guess, go from there. I make some money. I then invested into my own business. And I guess, I've got a bit best of both worlds now. So I gamble and I've got my business and enjoy best of both worlds.
What's your main medium for punting? Is it horses, football?
It depends really. So I've got the golf, I've got the horses, and I've also got football. So I guess they're the main core points, but then there's rugby, cricket, tennis, etc. But it's whatever's value. I'll take whatever's there.
So the business you set up is not bookmakers, is it?
No, it's not, no. Because I'll stay away from Bookie Bashing. But I've got a golf business, so we do custom golf fittings, EP Golf Studios. We're trying to improve golfers' games. So they come into us, I've got these issues, I want to improve my driving. So we test all out the latest drivers, different shafts, different grips. They come to us and we're like, this works for you. Sometimes it's like, no, you need to work on your swing, because you can spend £800 on a driver and a nice shaft, but actually, you could do that and you're still just as bad. So go work in the swing, come back to us. Other times, this start shaft, you're using a regular, you need a stiff. That's better for you, you can get it further. Sort of things like that, really.
And all down to gambling. So, thank you very much, Kane.
Yeah,
Success
no problem.
story, and thanks not for being bashful. Tony Calvin's here.
I am.
Tony, fresh from your recent betting people interview, this is a bit of a new bash. How many people do you know here?
Well, I've literally just walked in. I won't mention his name because I'm not sure he wants to be named on camera. He came up to me. I haven't seen him for about 15 years. He was an early Betfair adopter, and he used to bet on Betfair all the time in very early days, 2001, 2002, 2003. And he just told me we used to helicopter him in for some meetings. How times have changed, Simon. How times have changed. We actually kind of like coffee them out now. We don't helicopter them in.
Is this like coming here tonight? Is it like a networking thing for you? What was the attraction for coming here?
Free white wine, I was told. So yeah. So well, actually, Russ Wiseman just bought me this, so I'm assuming it's free all night now. Anyway, no, not really. I know a few people that were invited. I know the Lovell brothers, well, and Anthony Kaminskas, have gone on. He direct messaged me, said he's coming. We're meeting up beforehand. There's no harm, is there? It's 30 minutes in on a train here, so why not come and meet some people? I'm sure I'll see some people I haven't seen for 10 years or so. So yeah, all good.
I look forward to seeing who's about. Anyway, thanks, Tom.
See you, mate.
Well, I'm here with Tom Brownlee. People probably recognise him from the betting people interview he did with me last year and the follow-up.
Yeah.
So this is the first one you've done here in conjunction with Smart Betting Club.
Yes.
What was the idea behind this event, really?
Well, we wanted to do this for a long time. COVID kind of got in the way for a period of it, but one aspect of professional betting that has always existed is the lack of transparency and the lack of willingness to get around a table, network and share ideas. Because it's a bit of a zero-sum game. If you've got an edge, you don't want to kill it, you don't want to discuss it with anything. But I think, as we all know, we're getting to a state, especially in UK gambling, with a white paper, with a lot that's going on just now, the drive to do this and get people around, smart people with a lot of history and influence in the game, just to be in a room and let's see what happens. Now, I don't know if anything will come out of tonight, but if you don't try, you can't succeed. So we wanted to throw this Smart Bash. We've got a presentation by somebody who's challenging some of the ideas around the white paper, a little bit of a panel discussion, and what I really want to focus on is a drive for a positive narrative for gambling, because it is so easy for everybody, for the media, even for the general public, to focus on the negative, and very few focus on the positive. We can get a group of people, like we have done today, around a room. We all share the same positive experiences, and perhaps we can just drive that narrative.
See, the bookmakers would probably like a guest list, wouldn't they? Because apart from me, they probably wouldn't want any of these people as their customers.
Well, they probably wouldn't want anyone here as their customer, but I think everybody here understands that. I mean, there's a certain level. I think down here, we've got a bit of whingers and moaners that people are getting restricted and they're not able to get on. Kind of, that's not what we're looking at this event. We understand the game, and I think the bookmakers understand the game as well. You're not going to stop everybody, especially the guys at the higher end, from getting on. We're not going to try and stop getting on ourselves, and we can park that for 1 minute and maybe come together and go, okay, we have our game. Perhaps that's slightly on the side here because we accept the restrictions. You guys have to have, responsible companies that you have to report to your shareholders, and so that you have to protect your company's interests. And that's outside of the discussion of today. We're more looking at what on earth is going on with affordability, source of wealth, the white paper, and the future of UK gambling for the general public. And, is there really so much we need to talk about around problem gambling, or can we discuss the positive benefits that a huge number of people get out of this pastime of ours?
And is finally, Tom, is this something that you hope is going to be an annual or biannual affair?
This is the test event, and I really want it to be successful. I can't tell you now because it's right at the start of the event, but tomorrow, the next day, we'll look back, we'll see if any positives come out of it. I really hope some do, and if any positives whatsoever come out of that, we hope to open it up into the future, probably do a little bit of a bigger event, invite some more people down here, and see if we can, keep on driving a network of informed people at an event like this to keep the positive spin going.
Brilliant. Well, best of luck with it, Tom. Thank you very much.
Cheers. Thank
Right, a new face to me, and he's not been on the Betting People series, but we might have to change that soon enough. John Patterson. John, you're a professional gambler. What are you here for tonight, and what's your angle?
Well, I'm here tonight. Obviously, good friends and active, possibly outside of some of like the actual sort of the bookie bashing network. I've obviously been part of that sort of like the wider community for some time. It'd be good to meet some of those people, some of the people involved in the groups, the smart betting community as well. There's a lot of sharp people there, a lot of little things we can learn from one another. And I suppose also, I know one of the big things that was sort of being flagged up was around the gambling white paper. Yeah. I know, like this sort of how can we as a sort of a betting community sort of put our case forward on that. I mean, looking at the white paper, it's absolutely it's all about harm. It's all about harm and protection, and this is for your own good. Well, actually, what about fairness? What about customer service? What about customer experience? That's what the regulators should be looking at, just as much as protection. I'm really keen to hear what some of the other views are, how I can perhaps feed some of my, I'm not going to say day job experience as well into the mix, but no, I'm looking forward to it. Should be a good evening.
And you think there's going to be any super syndicates come out of tonight?
Oh, well, I'm on camera, I'm going to say no to that, yeah?
Brilliant. Well, thanks for talking to us, John, and hope it goes successfully for you.
Always. Thanks for having me. Cheers.
Well, probably 60-40 wouldn't speak, but you can blame them. They're all trying to get on. The main event starting now. you don't want that filmed, but it's been a very interesting evening. Seeing all these people that cost the bookies fortunes. Yeah, anyway, we're going to go and watch this. You lot can't see it, but I think there'll be selling tickets next time, so keep your eye out. It's Smart Bash.